All right, this is X15. There was a question on Chief Talk this morning about drawing walls, drawing these 3 walls where they would all be 5 feet long. This wall over here and this wall over here don't matter, but these 3 walls 5 feet long, and these 2 walls at 45 degrees. And of course, there wasn't enough information to answer the question correctly. But this is in some cases this is really easy, in some cases it's less so. Well, let's say that you want this dimension, which is the, if you look over here, this is the outside main layer. So the studs, the core of the wall is the main layer, and this out here is the exterior of the main layer. And we know that because when I select the wall, that's where these handles are. And so I'm gonna delete this stuff, and I'm just gonna start over here. And so there's a couple ways to do this. We can just start drawing, and because it's 45 degrees, I can look in the status bar at the bottom of the screen, and it says 45 degrees when I'm doing this. I can stop, and I can make this 60 inches. I can draw like this, make this 60 inches. I can draw like this. And again, I can look down here in the status bar, and it says 315 degrees, which doesn't make any sense to me. But if you open this wall and you look at the wall angle here, it says minus 45. And so we can make it 60 right here, and you see what it does. It goes that way. So I'm going to undo. Let's open that up. And you see here where it's locked, I've clicked end. And if you look over here, I've got start and end indicators turned on. Here's an S for start, and here's an E for end. So that tells you which of these you need to set. So I'm gonna lock the start. I'm gonna make this 60 inches again. And so that one's 5 feet, that one's 5 feet, that one's 5 feet. We can turn the corner, and that stays 5 feet. And that's to the outside main layer. Now you can determine where that measurement is. Let's go to preferences, edit. This is where you turn on show start and end indicators right here. And that should be on, I think, by default in the newest templates, the out of the box templates. But when we're talking about walls, let's open the defaults. Let's go to walls, general wall, and then you can set this resize about to all these different things: outer surface, main layer outside, wall centers, main layer inside, and inner surface. So let's change it to inner surface. This would be like if you're doing an as-built and you're measuring from the inside. So let's just draw us a starter wall. And you notice when I pick up this, when I start to draw, it snaps to that inside corner. And my length is now, if we go down here to this corner, my length is now to this inside surface. So I'm going to make that 60. Let's turn the corner up here, make this 60. And we'll do the same thing down here. I can look down there and see 315, which tells me it's minus 45. So we'll make this 60. Now, the problem is that this doesn't work very good. So I don't know if this is a bug or just the way things work. So I'm going to delete all this. And I'm going to just turn the corner. And I'm going to take a point. I'm going to put that point right there in that corner. That's where I want this new wall to spring from. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to scoot it back over here. And then I'm just going to draw some lines. I'll pick up that point, draw up, and in this case I'm going to hit Tab. And this is the way this dialog is going to look when you open it up normally. It's going to say relative to start, which is what we want, but we want, in this case, we want polar because we want to be able to enter an angle and a distance. So the angle is 45. I'm going to enter 60 for a distance. I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to hit Tab. This time I just need to enter 60. And then over here, Tab, minus 45. You can enter anything here. You know, if this was an oddball angle, you can just enter the angle here. So I'm going to enter 60, and then we'll come over like this. And you'll notice that this line corresponds with the interior surface of this wall. So that kind of tells us that we've done all this correctly. And then I'm going to just take a wall and draw like this. And then we can take this, and because we're set on resize about inner surface, that's where that handle is. And I can just bring it down and snap it right there. And this one I can do the same here. This one I'm going to do the same thing here. I can turn the corner. I can snap that there. And then that'll join right there. So now that wall is 5 feet from that inside corner to that inside corner. That wall is 5 feet from inside to inside. This wall is 5 feet from inside to inside. And if we pick up our point and draw across, we're right on the mark. Now one thing I don't fortunately I don't have to draw kind of this stuff very much, but one thing I've done in the past, and there's a couple ways to do this. You can use this Polygon Shaped Deck tool. And so I'm going to say 6 sides. And you can change the side length, the radius to side. I'm going to say OK. And I'm just going to click over here. And here's our deck. So we don't need these 3 walls. And then I can open these and I can change them to whatever kind of wall I want. So you can see here that it's measured to 5 feet. 5 feet. 5 feet over here. So let's open those up. And let's make them siding 6. And we'll make them not invisible. We don't need them to be a railing, and say OK. And now that's still 5 feet. This one has changed. And that one's changed. And I think it's because we get these. You can see this 15/16 on here, and if you watch and see where it's measuring to, you can see it's including these wrapped around things on the end. I still don't understand why Chief does that, but it does. So if you add a little stub wall to it like that, that wall is still 5 feet. You can also, somewhere under CAD, boxes, regular polygon, you can do the same thing here. Number of sides, I'm going to make that 6. Side length, we'll make that 60. Okay. You can do the same thing here. Now you can take your wall, and you'll see it does the same thing. So this resize about is key to doing this kind of stuff. Normally it's main layer outside, but you can set it to anything you want.